Don't do another open house until you watch this video. Hey guys, agents, open house scripts that convert both before the open and during, what to say, what not to say. Hi guys, Mike Ferrante here with LPT Realty and the Mike team. And we're real estate agents serving Greater Cleveland, Northeast Ohio, all the way down to Central Ohio. And if you are curious about hearing more about LPT Realty and our team, just hit me up. Go to 21mike.com, click that button at the top to schedule an appointment with me or someone on the team. Like I said, we do training every single Tuesday. We start at 11:30 Eastern Time. You're welcome to join us live, or like most of you do, watch us on the YouTube channel afterward where we post the videos. The audio goes on the podcast, free beer and real estate. And of course, we put these on our Facebook page, 21 Mike Team. So let's get right to it. We're doing 5 weeks of scripts. Okay, so last week we did probably the most important one, the sphere of influence scripts. I have so many agents who come to me for training and mentoring, and they're like, hey, Mike, I just don't get it. I don't know what to say to my sphere. I'm awkward. I feel like I'm just asking them for referrals all the time. And so last week we gave you some tips on that. And this week we're going to do open houses. I think open houses are one of the best ways to generate business. We have bottom of the funnel activities, right? So we talk about circle prospecting and all these other methods of talking to people. Who is walking into an open house? People who are probably going to buy. Yes, you get your share of nosy neighbors, but that's okay. In fact, I would argue that talking to the neighbors is a good idea, which is the pre-open house door knocking. So let's get right to it. Let's start with the before the open house activities. So one of the things we like to do is put up as many signs as possible. And 20 signs, is that too many? I would say that if you're going to spend hours on your weekend, on your Saturday, on your Sunday, that you owe it to yourself and to the seller to maximize that activity. Those of you, if you're just putting it in the MLS, which populates to the third-party websites, Zillow, etc., you're missing the boat. Okay, you're missing the boat because you're going to spend 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at your open house. You want to maximize the number of people that walk in the door. So start with a bunch of signs. Start with signs that say open house tomorrow, open house Sunday, 12 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever it is. Put those signs up ahead of time, as many as you can, as many as you're allowed. Then the day of the open house, you put up signs at all the intersections and not just one. Okay, I've done videos, look on my Facebook page. I've done videos where you'll see 4 signs in a row spaced out about 10 to 20 feet apart on a busy street. Why? Because think about it. When you're driving down the street, you see a sign, you don't always see what it says. But imagine you see 4 or 5 signs in a row. You see the first one, you don't read it. You see the second one, maybe you don't get that one either. By the third, fourth, and maybe fifth one, you finally see, oh, open house. You know what? I'm looking for a home, or I'm getting ready to sell. I want to see this house that's in my neighborhood. So the passersby are okay. You want those people in the open house. If they see it and they take the time to pop in, you want them there. Plus, you have the people that are turning in the neighborhood anyway. They live in the neighborhood. Okay, so not only do we attract them by signage, I recommend knocking on the door. So let's get to the script part of this. Okay, I've got the signs. That's the easy part. Buy the signs. It's worth it. We're buying signs for, I think, around $8 to $10 a piece. My teammate Mike Pillow down in Mount Vernon, Apple Valley Lake area, he found signsonthecheap.com. I do not own stock in that company, but I'm telling you, we've gotten a bunch of signs and posts from them at a really good price, even with shipping. But spring for the open house signs, the ones with the arrows, with your logo. Get your name out there, okay? The people see you working in the neighborhood, they start to register. Oh, that guy. My teammate Mike, he's starting to have people come up to him and say, oh, you're that guy. You're that guy I saw at the event. You're the guy that did the open house. You're the guy that called me, texted me, sent me postcards. He's starting to build brand recognition. Signage, it's reusable and it helps build the brand recognition. Okay, so door knocking. Either the day before or the day of the open house is when I recommend door knocking. And the script is simple. Okay, have something in your hand, have a flyer in your hand that you're going to hand to them. Okay, now, we talk about dialing the phone, and you've seen the people that do their hour of power and they put up the mirror so they remember, hey, smile. I'm making phone calls, smile. And you feel kind of funny in your little cubicle or at your desk smiling for yourself, but that gets you in a frame of mind. It's the same thing if you're door knocking. Imagine I knock on your door and my face looks like this. Are you going to be very happy to see me? Might you even not open the door? Even before they answer the door, I'm sitting there smiling like a goofball. I've got my flyer in my hand. I'm even holding it up like, look, I have something to give you. They open the door somewhat reluctantly and they say, can I help you? And you say, absolutely. My name's Mike. I'm with LPT Realty. I'm here to do an open house today and I'm here to invite you. Here's a flyer. And I hand it to them. Okay. It's hard for you not to reach out when someone goes to hand you something. And it's just a piece of paper. Hopefully they take it. If they don't, you can offer to leave it there and you explain why you're there. Well, I live on the street. I'm not interested in the open house. That's okay. Okay. I promised the sellers I would invite the neighbors because you guys are my untapped sales force. You know people trying to get in the neighborhood. I was just at a listing appointment the other day where the lady was telling me the father bought that house right there for his son to live in. Okay, kids are buying homes for parents to live in. Okay, families want to be nearby. Friends. I just had a buddy buy a house on a street between where two of his friends live. He's always wanted this house, and when that house hit the market, we got it for him. So, first of all, think about how powerful that is for you getting people into your open house. Secondly, think about how you could generate seller leads from this. Okay, you guys are doing open houses, and if you're not thinking about seller leads, you're missing the boat. I talked to an agent my third year in the business. This agent, Debbie, well-known agent. She has since scaled back, maybe even retired now. And I got her on the phone for a little while and I said, Debbie, how do you get all of your listings? And I'm thinking she's going to say mailing or advertising or signs in grocery stores. And she said, Mike, open houses. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Listings from open houses? Absolutely. She attracted potential sellers to her open houses, buyers who have a home to sell to her open houses, and that was her number one source of listings, open houses. All right, so let me calm down for a second here because I'm back at the door now. I've handed them a flyer. I'm explaining you're my untapped sales force. You know people trying to get in the neighborhood. Okay, you know people who at work, your friends, your family. So I want you to keep this home in mind and I want you to come by and see it. And then I do the Columbo. Okay. I think this is a Mike Ferrante original. I'm not sure, but it's the Columbo where you go, as you're about to leave, you say, oh, one more thing. When do you think you might be making a move? Okay. Stolen straight from Mike Ferry. Mike Ferry this time. You don't ask the yes or no question. Hey, are you thinking about selling? It's too easy to give a no. Right, Mike? We saw this when Mike Ferry was on stage with Tom Ferry. It's too easy to give a no. Ask them a question that is not a yes or no question. When do you think you might be making a move? I just did this yesterday. I was walking the dog and I saw a neighbor a couple streets over and I asked him that very question. Hey, I'm not forcing you out, but I know people trying to get in the neighborhood here. When do you think you might be making a move? And he just chuckled and said, well, I hope they carry me out of here. Okay. And that's something I hear a lot when I'm door knocking. People are in their forever home, but you'd be surprised if the turnover rate in a neighborhood is 5, 6, 7, 8%, which is common, 1 in 20, 1 in 15 people might give you a different answer. They might tell you next year when the kids graduate, this summer, the kids are about to graduate. Scott makes a great point. Investing in real estate, that's another great line. When are you thinking of making a move? When do you think you might decide to take the plunge and invest in real estate? This is a great way to uncover more clients, and you already are having the conversation. All right, I'm still door knocking, guys. I haven't even gotten to the open house yet. So I asked that question. When do you think you might be making a move? Hey, 19 out of 20 people or 18 out of 20 are probably going to say, no, I'm not selling, go away. Okay, but if you have that big smile on your face, it's harder for them to be mean to you. So you just invite them, you give them the flyer. And the question I get is, Mike, if they're not home, do you leave a flyer there? Of course. I'm standing there with a flyer. Don't put it in their mailbox. Jam it in the door. Jam it in the door handle. Tuck it somewhere, but in between the door insulation and the door. But of course, I'm going to leave a flyer there. I do half-page flyers, just real simple. And now with the marketing package we get from LPT, it comes with door hangers. Okay, I've got the door hangers that just go right on the knob. So why not use them? All right. So I'm done door knocking. I hit at least 40 homes, 10 on each side of the street in each direction. That's the bare minimum. If it's a good turnover neighborhood, I'm going to try to knock on every single door in that neighborhood. I've knocked on 100 doors in one day. And if I have a teammate with me, we'll hit 150 to 200 on a good day. All right, so now I'm at the open house. What do you say? Are you an agent that says, there's my sign-in sheet. Hi, welcome to the open house. Sign in right there. I say, no, don't do that. Take things in your own hands here. How many people are either just going to put a name or decline? You know what? I'm working with someone, or that's okay. I'm just here to look. I'm not going to sign in. Okay, you have to take control of the situation. My friend John Reyes out of California, he has a great script. He showed me this. I'm going to show you the top of my head with this script. I've got my sign-in sheet in my hand. I've got the pen in the other, and I say, "Hi, are you here for the open house?" Quick yes icebreaker answer. Of course they're here for the open house. Some people poke fun at me and say, "No, I'm here for the bake sale. I'm here for the garage, whatever." I say, "Ha ha ha, that's funny. Okay, great. Let's get you signed in. What is your name?" I'm showing you the top of my head, the bald spot that I've had for 30 years that thankfully hasn't gotten any bigger. And I'm going to write it down. If I do it that way, I'm more likely to just get an answer. I'm going to ask for phone. I'm going to ask for email. If people don't want to give it to me, I'll ask for the other. Great, what is your name? If they only give me a first name, that's fine. I'm going to write down whatever they give me. And great, Mike, let me get a phone number. Well, I'd rather not give you my phone number. Okay, how about email? Great, I'll write that down. Well, you've given me your phone number, you might as well give me, or you've given me your email, you might as well give me your phone number now. Oh, and by the way, I didn't get your last name. A lot of times the last name is in the email address, right? That's why I don't push on each individual item. You have to remember, guys, let me ask you a question and just think about this in your heads for a second, or if you're playing at home, give me an answer. Why are people there? Why did that person walk in the door? They're not there to be interrogated by you. They're not there to answer 1,000 questions. They are there to see the house. So if we're putting up roadblocks for them, they're going to get frustrated at a certain point. So we have to be careful with our interrogation before they get into the house. Okay, I see a lot of agents making the mistake there. They get too deep. They build animosity with that preliminary line of questioning. So you have to feel it out. I'm going to get the sign-in information. If I get an objection, I'm going to use one of the following lines. I'm going to say, "Hey, I promised the seller I would keep track of everyone who came in their home today. Can I at least get your name?" And then I'm going to say, "Can I at least get a contact method, one or the other?" And if they ask me why, I promised the seller. It's hard for someone to ask you to break a promise. Hey, imagine if you were selling a home, you'd probably want to know who came in your home today, right? If you don't mind, at least give me a name. And then the follow up to that is, well, hey, in case you have any questions, I can email you this listing later. I can email you the property disclosures. So if you give me that, I can get back to you. Um, Scott just mentioned VoicePad, awesome tool at an open house. Our CRM, Lofty, has a sign-in sheet. So guys, look into the tech tools because some of them will make it easier for you. The pad of paper is fine, but if you're using a tech tool, those will automatically load into your CRM. Okay. All right, let me catch my breath. Next, you're going to get into the other questions depending on how that first conversation went. Again, people don't want to be interrogated. But here's a huge mistake that agents are making. The very first question they ask is, are you working with an agent? Okay, you guys have heard me tell this story before. Think of the furniture store. You get your kids together on a Saturday, you're there to buy a dining room table, you drag the kids in, and there's a group of salesmen huddling like vultures, and one of them breaks off from the pack to come to see if they have some fresh carrion to pick at. Hi, can I help you find anything today? And you say, no, I'm just looking. Why do people say that? It's because they don't want to be bothered by salespeople. I want to go look around, and then I want help from a salesperson if I need it at that point. So when you ask, are you working with an agent? When the people walk in the door right away, they think if I say yes, he'll leave me alone. She'll leave me alone. So listen, it's our duty these days, and it always has been, to find out if they have an agent, but I'm suggesting we do it in a different way. Ask them some different questions. Hey, when are you looking to make a move? How have you been looking? Have you made any offers yet? And they will tell you. Oh, I did make an offer, my agent, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, my agent sent me to this open house today. Okay, that's another training where, gee, why isn't your agent here? But anyway, listen, we have to abide by buyer's agency. So ask all the other questions. Which websites are you using? How long have you been looking? And of course, the home run question, like I don't want to call her a mentor. She spent a half hour on a phone call with me and told me open houses were her number one source of listings. But here's the home run questions that so many of you aren't asking. Do you have a home to sell? Don't forget that one, guys. Do you have a home to sell? Or where are you coming from today is another good icebreaker question that gets into that. Hey, I'm here from out of town. My apartment is around the corner. Or I live in such and such. I live in Strongsville and I'm moving to Mentor. Oh, do you own your home or do you rent? So uncover that question. Do you have a home to sell? Uncover that question using any of those other questions. But please, for the love of God, don't ask, are you working with an agent as your first question? Look, I have asked that question at open houses when I'm not sure. I'm getting mixed signals, and I will indeed just finally just come out and say, hey, it sounds like maybe you're working with an agent. Or say it the other way. It sounds like you're not working with an agent. Right? I see, Mike, I see your picture with the key and you're smiling at me. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. See, Mike is smiling at me and I feel good right now. It's the same thing at the open house, not only door knocking at the open house. When you greet people, put the smile on, make them feel warm and welcome. If you've had a long day and this is an hour has gone by and that's the first person that walks in and you're sitting there like, geez, I wasted an hour today. Hi, are you here for the open house? As opposed to, hi, are you here for the open house? You get a different feeling, right? Okay, so they've looked around, you've gotten the information from them. There's one last mindset that I want to change for you guys because most agents go into an open house with the following mindset. I'm here to meet people. I'm here to have as many conversations as I can. That's good. Do you want to hear what better or great is? Change your mindset from I'm here to get as many contacts, conversations, emails, and phone numbers to I'm here to set appointments. Same with your door knocking. Change your goal from talking to people to setting appointments. You door knock and they say, hey, yeah, we're selling later this summer. Great, let me get my calendar out. I'm going to do some homework for you and I'm going to bring you something tomorrow. How's noon or 6 p.m.? Oh, what are you going to bring me? I'm going to do homework for you. Free assessment. I will run comps. Okay, don't say comps because that's lingo. Wouldn't you like to know what your home value is? Would you like to see all of the home sales in the neighborhood? Would you like me to email those to you? Get an email address when you're door knocking. Get a phone number. Send a thank you card. I'm throwing so much at you guys. Mike, you and I do this all the time. We make a really good connection and then we lose track. They forget about us. Use those magnets. Have those with you. Drop it off tomorrow. Hey, I got a refrigerator magnet with my kitchen conversion chart. And oh, by the way, here's your comparative market analysis package. This is like a mini appraisal. Same thing at the open house. Change your perspective from having conversations, getting a list, because how many of you, raise your hands, you've done an open house, you got 10 names, phone numbers, and email addresses, and you are 0 for 10 after that. None of them ever call you back or respond to your emails. It's happened to me. The difference is you got to make a deeper connection at the open house. Set the appointment. Hey, by the way, I have a list of other properties that are for sale. Are you guys doing that? Have a list of the other properties. Oh, how'd you like today's property? What did you think of the house? Is this the type of home you would make an offer on? Feel free to rewind these and grab all these little gold nuggets I'm dropping down. And if the answer is no, or even if it's yes, I'd think about it. Would you like to see other properties in the area? Oh, really? What do you have? Well, I have a list of 3 homes that are similar in the neighborhood. Would you like to see them later today or tomorrow morning? Which one works better for you? Set appointments at your open house, guys. All right, I threw a ton at you there. I hope you will scroll back and listen to these little nuggets and little one-liners that will help you do a better job of having conversations, getting leads, yes, but setting appointments. All right, we've got 3 more weeks of scripts coming up, so stay tuned. If you miss one, don't worry, we record them. If you're on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. Email me, Mike at 21mike.com, if you have topics you want to discuss or if you're interested in hearing more about this cool new company that I'm with. All right, thanks for being here, guys.